Hello, Marlies. Hello, Jean-Marc. Thank you so much for joining me on this conversation today. It's an absolute pleasure to be speaking to the two of you, one on the account of International Women's Day, and I'd like us to have a conversation about how we at Sogeti have been creating an inclusive environment and what we will aim to continue to do. But I think one of the key things this year, and that's very special for us, is we celebrate 20 years of Sogeti. And many of you who would be listening to this conversation may not be aware that our panelists today, both Jean-Marc and Marlies, have been with us since the beginning. So we will let them do a quick introduction about themselves, but congratulations for being with us for so long and for joining us today. With that, let me dive straight into a quick round of introductions. Marlies, please tell us a little bit about yourself, your passion, and your tenure with Sogeti.
Okay, thank you, Deepa. Well, I'm a Principal Consultant Enterprise Architecture with Sogeti Netherlands. And in that capacity, I aim to support and help organizations with improving their enterprise architecture function and make it more effective. And I do so in two manners. On the one hand, part of my time, I coach architects in architectural teams. And also part of the time, I develop our approach to architecture. So we have an architectural approach. We call it dynamic architecture, or DIA for short. And really from the start, from the moment I joined Sogeti, I've been working on this method, on this approach, and we have been writing books about it and articles and giving webinars and hosting a yearly event. So that's my passion as well, I think.
Yeah. Very nice. Thank you so much. Great. Jean-Marc, a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So, hi everyone. I'm Jean-Marc Gaultier. So I'm the head of Sogeti Global Portfolio Alliances and Marketing, and I'm based out of Washington D.C. So in this role, I would say I'm the enabler of pushing what are the key offerings that we have around our portfolio, strengthen the partnership that we have with our key alliances like Microsoft or IBM, Micro Focus, or Tricentis. And also enhancing, I would say, the vision that we have around marketing and communication. And obviously this year, as you said, Deepa, is a very important year as we celebrate our 20 years anniversary. And it's been quite a great journey for me in Sogeti. So if I move a bit on the more personal front, I have 3 kids, 3 different passports. Actually, one lives with us still in the US, one lives in France. The last one, or the first one, I would say the oldest one, lives in Singapore. So I think that one of the passions that we have is travel, and outside of travel, I love sports. So I play quite a lot of pickleball, which is quite a new sport in the US. I also manage a soccer club, and I'm a soccer coach. So I think it's also part of the things that I do on the side. And I'm also the president of the French-American Chamber of Commerce in Washington, D.C. So I think that's also part of the different things that we need to do to continue enhancing the network that we have across the world.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And with all of that experience, I think both of you have spent time from the beginning of the time we can bring, we had Sogeti, at least rebirth of Sogeti. So both of you have been with us 20 plus years.
Yep.
So I think what I would like out of this conversation then is for us to understand how this, how have these last 20 years been for you? And so let me quickly jump in with the first question to you, Jean-Marc. From what I've understood, at least, your career in Sogeti really has been one of mobility, which means that you've experienced living in different countries, playing different roles. Tell us a little more about this experience and what your learnings were.
Sure. Well, as I said, I started actually 2000, January 1st, 2000, which is a magical date, in the group, and I started as a sales in France. Then I moved to Spain to manage what we call at that time outsourcing sales in Catalonia. Then moved to Sogeti to launch the testing practice and the business with IBM. I was then relocated to the US in 2005. So I think that movement that's what has been leading me to where I am today. And obviously for me it's quite personal because my mother is Spanish, father French, so I was always lived in multicultural and environment. But I think the learning of new cultures, the ability to understand the different personalities, the different angles of doing business, it's what also is so important in our business. And I think that experience has led me to be much more open to obviously to the world, but also to understand much more what are the challenges that we face. So really, I love that mobility experience, obviously, for the roles that I've had in Sogeti, but also for all the openness that it has given me across the years. And obviously, it's for me, but also for my family and for my kids. I think the fact that today they are moving across the world, it's also a fact that they are citizens of the world, and that's also thanks to Sogeti. I think that's for me that's quite good, and the ability to adapt, I think, is what we will also need to continue doing as we move along for the next 20 years of Sogeti.
Yes, I totally, relate with you, because I think personally, even myself, coming from a background, moving countries, going to different places to study has made such a big difference as a person, even. So totally relate with you. Marlies, for you, my God, you studied linguistics, and then you successfully worked in the fields of artificial intelligence, data management. You've talked about the enterprise architecture, and now you work with digital ethics. What's inspired you to make all of this move?
Yes, I think it's a different kind of mobility I have. I like what you're saying about mobility across cultures and languages, countries, sorry. My mobility has been across topics, across areas of expertise. And to me, all those moves, in hindsight, they were very logical steps. And when I think about it, I think what drives me very much is I'm eager to learn new knowledge. And I like to look across the discipline that I'm in. So I started out with linguistics. I was interested in natural language. I'm still interested in natural languages. But from there, it's an easy move to start getting interested in natural language processing. And from there, you move to artificial intelligence in general. And then you move to knowledge, and how do we represent knowledge? And the building blocks of knowledge are data. And so I got into data management and data sharing, etc. And so every step has been looking across the boundary of disciplines. And in this way, I moved around topics really and areas of expertise.
And that's fabulous. I mean, the connection, from linguistics all the way to where you are today. So thank you so much for sharing. Moving back to you, Jean-Marc. So while you are the, Portfolio Marketing Alliances leader for us at Sogeti, you are also our diversity and inclusion, or should I say CSR leader and ambassador. In that role that you play as our ambassador for CSR, what do you believe is the utmost importance for our business going forward and today?
Sure. And again, I think diversity is inclusion, it's openness, and it enriches all the different vision that we have. So for me, it's a mandatory topic. So now it's the more diverse talent we have, the more innovation we bring, because you bring outsider-in perspective. So it's not only one single vision. So for me, gender balance obviously is not only a business imperative; it's essential. And it's gender balance obviously is one start. Diversity across religion, marital preferences, etc. It's all of that we need to hire. And I think the key for us right now is that we cannot hire people that look like us. Now, we don't want only bold guys in the business. So we need to be fairly open on what we need to do, and we need to embrace the new talent where it comes from. So hire talent, and Marlies, you're the exact example of that. Now is that the career and the path that you had also brought you a different openness into Sogeti. So, and that's exactly what we want to continue doing. So I think right now for us the key is I would say remove all the biases that we have, and I think that's quite of the topic for this year IWD, and they're well entrenched, those biases. It's obviously it's a human by nature, but it's really I think I will encourage each and every one of us to start working on those biases, obviously through different webinars that will be happening through different trainings, and always keep an open mind. I think, and again, if I go back to my, I would say, cultural experiences and moving across the world, is that I have today an open mind, and I think it's really important in the world we live in today to have that open mind and to embrace the difference. And obviously in Sogeti, it's I think it's part of our DNA also. It's really why we are such a great company. But really, I really encourage everyone to continue looking at the world with that open mind and embrace all the differences. That's what also will make Sogeti way stronger. So that's, for me, that's the utmost importance for our business.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. I think all of that resonates really well, and in fact, it brings me right to the next question, which is for Marlies, which says, so for it, Marlies, you know, when you talked about how you moved from linguistics into the IT field, it seemed so easy, but I'm sure that there's a lot more you can share with us in terms of how this career move happened. Were there any obstacles? What were the opportunities that you leveraged? What has been this experience for you?
Well, I think one of the things that I experienced and that I also learned is, if I'm looking back, and especially when I started my career at Sogeti, I often was the odd one out. So I often was the only woman in a room full of men, and then you stand out. I often was the one presenting something or talking, but what I've learned is that being the odd one out, you can turn that into an advantage, because you are visible, you don't really fit in maybe, and that you can use, because if you keep to yourself and you do not try to fit in, but you just accept that you are different, then it allows you to say things that other people in the room may not say that easily. And at first I didn't realize that, but at a certain moment early in my career, I gave a presentation to a full room of men, and a colleague of us, afterwards, he told me, I was amazed about the things you were saying. I wouldn't dare to say these things, but they accepted it for me. Because I was a woman, I was different, they didn't feel threatened by me, and I learned to turn that into an advantage. So I can sometimes achieve things just because I'm different.
Fabulous. I love that line. You've got to make sure that you use every opportunity to your advantage. Absolutely. Exactly. Brilliant. So, Marlies, just to continue with you a little bit more, what's been one of the most memorable achievements for you over the last few years?
Well, I think for me, the most memorable achievement was had to do with the books I've written. And I'll never forget the moment that I think it was the second book that I co-authored, and it was launched. It was at an event, and then there was a break. We had a break, and I was just walking around and talking to people, and suddenly there was an entire queue of people who wanted me to sign their copies of the book. And I was flabbergasted. I felt like a rock star, and but well, that was just amazing to see that you're doing something, that you're writing about stuff that people relate to and like, and that helps them. And that, I think that's what I'm most proud of also, that that I've developed things and knowledge, and that again goes back also to the diversity and looking across boundaries. And I agree with Jean-Marc. I think that's key to our success, and that we are quite unique in it. I think the great diversity of knowledge that we have, and if we manage to bring that together and to work interdisciplinary, we can do great things, and we do great things, I think.
Absolutely. I can just imagine you definitely are the rock star, signing all the books that you have. I must get a copy of the book from you as well very soon. All right. So, Jean-Marc, I think you've been, so of course, you've been with us and the group long enough to really understand the real culture, what exactly drives us as an organization. What's your, you've already shared your experience, but what's your experience in this whole time, and what do you think we may be able to even change to do better? So if you were to describe your journey, what could we do better?
So what can we do better? I think I said one of the things is obviously the biases. That's something, keep an open mind. But what we need also is to keep that Sogeti spirit, the technocentric eagerness to move fast to the new. I think it's really something that we need to continue doing and accelerating. We need to continue the hiring of the diverse talent, multicultural talent that is coming. I think it's quite important. Mentorship, I truly believe also mentorship is something that we need to reinforce in Sogeti and across countries, because I think it's also quite useful to get to share the different views and from a different angle. We need also to reinforce the community building because that's also a forum of discussion and to bring new things to the Sogeti environment and obviously to our clients. But everything, and I think all of that will revolve around the family spirit that we truly have in Sogeti, and that's really something that I believe is unique in the market. And if I look at the 20 years inside the group and inside Sogeti, it's for me what's striking is that we have truly something different in Sogeti, and I think it's really and when I say family, it's really from an angle of, yes, we are close together, we support each other, even though we are 20,000 now across the world, but nevertheless, we still have that strong family spirit. So for me, that's really something that I need to continue pushing, and I really hope that we will continue having over the next 20 years of our history.
Absolutely, totally agree with you. Marlies, what is your view on the same?
Well, I agree with everything Jean-Marc said, but I have another perspective as well. I think, and it continues what I said before, I think we are very unique within Sogeti, not only because we have this great diversity of experts and disciplines that we know about, but I think the professionals within Sogeti, many professionals are not only expert in their field, but they are also able to develop their field, to change their field. So they are visionaries, they are thought leaders. We have lots of thought leaders. And I think that's quite unique. If I look at the competitors, they do not have that not that explicitly. Of course, they have employees that are visionary, but the amount of books and articles and papers that we produce, I think that's a very important strength of Sogeti, and I think that we must take care to keep that, and also in hard times to resist trying to get, we have to keep investing in it, even if there's less money available, because I think that's really brilliant that we have that.
Absolutely, and I so agree with you. I think, in fact, this is the year, the 20-year celebration, where so much of this will be, re-energized, revived. I mean, I've been with the group almost 12 years myself, but Sogeti for 4 years, and I can clearly see this family spirit that you were talking about, Jean-Marc. So I'm very excited that not only this year, but over the last couple of years and going forward, we are doing a lot of work in the field to not only keep us together, but also bring this diversity of thought, etc. But I think I've received very good insights from both of you, and I really thank you for openly sharing all of this with us. And I look forward that over the year we will be able to celebrate moments where we can celebrate some of the things that you've also mentioned, because I'm sure it is all in the plan. And we look forward to a fabulous 20-year celebration, but also inspiring young talent to come back and see who we are as an organization.
Exactly.
Yeah. So thank you so much. This has been inspiring, and I definitely, Marlies, look forward to the book and look forward to seeing both of you in person very quickly.
Excellent. Thank you for having us, Deepa.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.